Hello viewers, I'm SP and welcome back to BattleTech Heavy Metal. It's been a couple of days since the last episode, and I realized, not immediately, but at some point in the last couple of days I realized that given the time, the thing that was happening in the last episode, it's possible to interpret that as me having gotten frustrated and sad and given up on the series, so I'm sorry if I gave anyone that impression. What actually happened is time management. I did bad at it, and then I didn't have time to record everything every day. And if something's getting pushed off the schedule, it's probably going to be BattleTech, just because we're real deep in both this and Total War, which is not to say that I'm not enjoying them both, but it does mean like these are marathons, not sprints, right? And of them, BattleTech is the one that I record later in the day, so it has a tendency to get pushed off the back of the schedule. So sorry about that. Oops. So I've put in repairs for all of the mechs. Obviously, we got people in the med bay, and we're working on that problem. And I think what I've decided is that we're going to try flying around a little bit and spending some time. Hey, don't spoil the thing yet. We're going to try spending some time letting the flashpoint reappear. My experience with failed flashpoints has been that they reappear very, very quickly. So we're going to hope that that is the case again, and we're just going to fly to the nearby world of Lindsay, which is very non-challenging and non-interesting, except for the fact that it has this long hunt flashpoint available. We'll go do this, we'll make some decent money, we'll get some rare items, we'll probably do whatever half-skull garbage missions are available on this planet, and then we'll come back, and we'll see if maybe things are looking a little bit friendlier on our next swing through the flashpoint. Plus, we need to visit more systems and stuff. This is going to be worth some score. Ooh. Also, I gotta say, see, new flashpoint added in the Desolate Plains system. Is that might have been our flashpoint repopping already. It's a stressful time, man, in the world. That definitely contributes to things getting pushed off the schedule too, because my obsessive behaviors and my management of time both get worse when I'm very stressed, and there's some stuff going on in the world right now that might stress a person out. We're going to go ahead and do normal here. I don't think we can afford to do anything better than that, and I really don't want to drop us below 41 morale. You probably know what I'm talking about when I say that. There's some situations happening out there in the universe. I try not to talk too much about the negative stuff that's going on in the world, because people want to use these videos as an escape, right? And also, I don't want to think about that stuff. But I do want to say, I got pretty bummed out. People are talking about what to do in the event of this here pandemic, this global pandemic we're all living through. Medical professionals going on TV and the internet saying, now listen, everybody, I know this is going to be a hardship, but we're going to have to practice some extreme social distancing. And then they go on to just describe living the way that I live every single day. I didn't realize that my life was a hardship. Apparently I've just been living in that this whole time. So yeah, we're just doing this flashpoint, right? But let's go ahead and look at the contract board first. Now, it's worth noting we'll be able to take missions from probably any employer here on this system because of the fact that the missions are so low in difficulty. One of the biggest effects that being hated by someone has is it limits the difficulty of the missions you can accept from them. Let's see, we can't take a 1 skull from the pirates because they don't like us enough. We'll be able to clean these missions up all pretty quickly, I imagine. And, they're not worth a ton of money. This is not bad, 563. This will add up, though, in total. And also, the flashpoint itself is going to be worth something, right? So I guess let's step into that. A Davian lieutenant has committed terrible atrocities in the Combine system of Shol Kala. I need you to hunt him down, Commander. He cannot be permitted to live after what he's done. Boy, I hope that's not the standard we're going to start holding people to, because several of my pilots are going to have to go as well. Also, actually, just out of curiosity before we step in here, the Liao Alliance flashpoint has already repopped, so we'll give that another go here once we clear this planet. And it's possible that I won't put all the missions from this planet on camera, because they're likely to be very, very easy. Even with the wheel, they might not be interesting. I know, it sounds crazy to me too, but don't let this get around too much that I said this, but I think there might be some problems that even the wheel cannot solve. Commander, thank you for heeding my call. You'll forgive me if I am not my usual jovial self. We have important matters to discuss. Oh, he sounds sober, XO. Something must be seriously wrong. You have our full attention, Shuga Yamaguchi. How can we be of service? I've just arrived from Shaol Kala, in the heart of the Combine. A massacre recently took place there. An entire farming village put to the torch, its people slaughtered by a monster in a Davian uniform. My agents have tracked the responsible party, Colonel Basil Lees of the AFFS, to this system. I want you to help me deliver the Coordinator's justice unto him. I want you to bury him under 100 tons of steel. Okay, I got what you were saying the first time there, buddy. The AFFS is the Armed Forces of the Federated Suns. Oh, it's remarkably straightforward. I don't want to be a bummer here. Apparently this is the episode where I'm just a bummer all the time. But, like, a farming village put to the torch? That's gotta be a thing that happens all the time, right? I know it's against the rules of engagement or whatever, but, like, that's just how wars go. And this, again, we're talking about, like, I know it's a quote-unquote cold war, but there's lots of hot proxy wars going on across multiple planets. This cannot be a thing that is rare. Anyway, burying people under tons of steel? Absolutely a service we offer. I'm down. I'm here. I am ready to help you. That's what I was hoping to hear. I knew that I could count on you. I will provide you with the coordinates of a stronghold on the planet's surface. My agents tell me that Lees has ensconced himself inside. Bring it down onto his head and crush his soldiers in the rubble. No offense, Shugo Yamaguchi, but I'm surprised that you're taking what Lees did so hard. It's horrible, of course, but you're no stranger to the cost of war. Did you know somebody on Shaol Kala? Abraham Kobayashi. He was the planet's farming minister and an old family friend. Because of the connection, I felt obligated to travel to Shaol Kala myself. I saw what Lees did with my own eyes, wallowed in the horror of it. No amount of wine can drown out the stench of that much death. Well, that, I guess, explains some things. The moment that the horror actually touches the rich people, all of a sudden we're all hands on deck. War crimes should not be permitted. You know, you can't find peace in a bottle. Only justice can give you that. The big, robotic, very expensive kind of justice. I believe that you're right about that, Commander. In fact, I'm counting on it. We'll get you that justice, Shugo Yamaguchi. Colonel Lees is a dead man. You have our word. That does sound like the sort of thing that we should be able to do, right? Okay, the long hunt. We've traced Colonel Basil Lees to a stronghold in the basin ahead. Raze it to the ground and destroy anything that attempts to protect it. Show this Davian animal what the Draconis Combine does to those who would slaughter its people. Yeah, we'll show him for treating other people like animals by treating him like... Okay. We might not have the moral high ground on this one after all. Alright. Well, you know, if we want to regain the moral high ground, you know what we must do. That's right, it's time. Let's just have a look at what the wheel asks of us today. Also, that should be refreshing. There we go. There we go. You know, computers are complicated. Alright. What's the story? Oh, blood wheel, oh mine. The story is... It's training day. You know what? Honestly, this is probably a fine time for that. This is probably exactly the kind of time we ought to be doing a thing like that. I should remember to hide the wheel. Okay, so we got to bring in some less experienced pilots. It's only a 3.5 skull. We should be able to do that. Oh, I do have to tab out one last time because I don't remember the difficulty modifier that I put on training day. By which I mean that the wheel put on training day. It's a +1. Okay, we're allowed to go 4.5 skulls. I'm gonna take that and rejoice in it. So at a 3.5 skull mission, what do you think the odds are that we're going to see mechs that we actually want? I think I'm going to take this at 1 point of priority salvage, just in case. And yeah, we could certainly use that money. Alright. We get to bring 4.5 skulls worth of mechs. We have to take it pretty easy on the pilots. I mean, we could just run this same group of pilots, right? We already know that these guys are under the limit. All we have to do is lose a little bit of weight out of here. Like, we could drop the Stalker pretty easily, probably. If I just drop the Stalker for the Thunderbolt, does that do it? It totally does do it. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but it feels like this would probably be pretty effective. I guess, do we want to run the Dragonfly in the jungle? I might want to replace the Dragonfly maybe like with the Warhammer, which does a very similar job at the same weight. Guys, we can't really run the Warhammer with Steamfitter piloting it, though. And thing runs too hot. And I can't bring in crews because she'll blow our skill point value. So... does the Orion work in this slot, or does that push us up? No, okay, that's not 5 symbols. Okay, I think we could do this. Yeah, let's run it like that. It's possible that the difficulty adjustment on training day is too high. It's also possible, I just want to prepare everybody for this now so it doesn't come as a shock later. It's also possible that when we get back to Desolate Plains, we're going to do the Liao Alliance Flashpoint with no Blood Wheel. Not that I want to offend the Blood Wheel or anything, and also not that I want to make the content any more boring than I absolutely have to. Presumably, at this point in the series, if you're watching, it's because you like the combat. But I also just really want to see the end of that Flashpoint. I want to have video evidence of the end of that Flashpoint, since there's so little evidence of it on the internet. We might just want to take that as easy as we can get it, and then get back to our normal shenanigans afterward, you know? We'll see how I feel when we get back over there. Another thing that has definitely, to some degree, led to me not putting out as many videos as I would like, is that the internet here around here has gotten really extremely crappy, like exaggeratedly crappy. Like sometimes it takes 4 hours to upload a video. Part of that is that YouTube's new uploader is absolutely garbage. They killed the old uploader, and I'm not gonna get too inside baseball on you, but that's a bad thing. But also there's just something wrong with our internet connection, and we had a guy come out and look at it, and he told us a story that doesn't make any sense, and then failed to fix it. So, anyway, let's focus up here. The disused stronghold that Colonel Lees and his band of war criminals have holed up in should be just ahead. Go in with guns blazing and pull the whole structure down on top of him. Bury that rat bastard under a ton of rubble. He's more than earned it. Oh, just 1 ton now. I think it will probably will drop more than 1 ton on him. Alright, and we get bonus objectives and stuff. Yeah, we should make a decent amount of money on this one. Well, Steamfitter and the Orion can lead the charge. We got a reading at 55 tons. There's a turret up there. A couple of turrets in vision. Okay, the Cataphract, probably just try to put it up on the hill as quickly as possible.
Position confirmed. Affirmative, Commander.
I do like the jungle biome. I like that I like the way the terrain is generated and stuff. You usually get a lot of interesting line of sight decisions and stuff here. There's usually a little bit more good cover than on some of the other biomes. Boy, I sure do wish we could make it to the trees. Let's try the Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt doesn't really need to make it to the trees. Let's just do this. So we got another thing over there, and we get to see the heavy LRM turret early, which I'm very thankful for.
Targeting for an Alpha strike.
Okay, it is at 52 health, which is a little unfortunate.
Awaiting orders.
That means we're definitely going to have to hit it with, well, I guess the AC-10 could do the job. Then again, if we're going to run Steamfitter over here, we're shooting with everything anyway, right? And I guess with the, we did get it into Gauss rifle range as well. We do get 16 shots with that. I can't hit it from anywhere that I have cover. Okay, over here I can. This'll do then.
Copy that.
Do I even want to fire the Gauss rifle? We probably would get it with the 2 lasers. Yeah, let's just do this. We do need them both to hit.
Engaging.
And I don't know that I really needed to save the ammo. That might have been me being overcautious for, like, basically no benefit. Is that a 70? Is that what that said? Okay.
Yes, Commander.
So we're probably looking at a grasshopper or something similar. I guess you just reserve down then, right?
They've got a sensor lock.
Okay, I expected there was probably going to be some sensor locket.
You have orders?
I was really hoping one of them was going to move forward. I guess we can actually have the Annihilator go first, because we're almost certainly not going to get to shoot with it.
Affirmative, Commander.
I'm hoping something will come over the hill here.
They've got a lock on me.
Nope, they're just going to sensor lock all my dudes. Well, let's hope there's not any turrets left. Gotta be a little careful here, because obviously I don't want to reveal myself to any enemies. I guess we just run into the trees. I could walk into the trees and then sensor lock something just to mess with its targeting. What about this turret?
Got a lock.
Nope, that's a shredder. It was not going to shoot at us anyway. But they absolutely do have an LRM turret somewhere.
Damn it.
Really?
Wounded.
Man,
Give them everything you got.
that's very unfortunate. Okay, into the trees with the Orion. Let's see what we're looking at here. It is a grasshopper, and of course the shredder turret has to be a high priority, but is there a chance we could kill this grasshopper first? It's pretty heavily armored, and also it has a lot of evasion. I guess let's just take down the turret. At 232, we're looking at... I think we have to fire everything, right? Because each one of these does 72 damage, so the three of them together is only 216. We actually do have to hit it with all of the weapons if we want a chance of killing it with this mech.
I have a good feeling about it.
But the good news is, as long as the AC-10 hits, we're basically guaranteed the kill.
That turret is gone.
So that's useful. There might be a hidden objective to kill the turrets. So we might make even more money than it looks like we're going to make here, which I'd be very thankful for.
Yes, Commander.
Ready for orders.
Still really don't want to fire at that grasshopper. I want it to take its turn. I might just reserve down, actually.
Waiting for the right move.
Now, of course, there's some danger to this, because now we're going to be fighting during their turn when they have turrets available and also vision of me, so we might be eating a little bit more fire on the Orion
Commander.
this turn. But also, I'm not that worried about it. I think the Orion is capable of withstanding some fire, and Crackable can get up here and probably just smash this thing, right? Now that it has no damage reduction anymore, let's try that. Let's just try to take its head clean off. Or do I want to go for the core? It's 260 total damage. It's doable. Yeah, we may as well just try to do this the more reliable way.
Locking off. All weapon systems.
It's not like we're trying to take home parts of that grasshopper or anything, right?
They've got a lock on me.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, at least they're having to spend resources doing that. So the cataphract cannot get an angle on anybody. It's kind of weird that there's no movement, like, there's nowhere to stand in this half of the forest.
I'm here.
Let's have the Thunderbolt lead this push then. I'd love to be in the trees. Man, I guess I'm just running into the open. This feels dangerous. We might have Chicken Hound use Vigilance.
Position confirmed.
In fact, I think I am in fact going to do that. So we have a dragon and a Shadowhawk. Shadowhawk is not super dangerous. Dragon is more dangerous, but also like not terrifying. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and use Vigilance. I want to make sure that this thing stays strong. So do we want to target a specific area on the dragon? Like, it would be cool if we removed the autocannon, obviously. It only has 160 health in its leg. I mean, the fact is, we're probably not going to hit with enough damage to kill any part of it. But if I don't aim shot, we're going to do barely any damage at all. I guess let's start working on this. Boy, we are bad at aim shots with these pilots.
Targeting for an outward thrust.
Yeah, we need to spend the resolve to have a decent chance of dealing any damage at all, unfortunately. Okay, apparently the enemies are very fixated on the Orion.
Orders.
It's not ideal. I would really like them to be shooting at the other guy. Yeah, I think we can stand back a little bit with the cataphract. Can I stand further back? You don't necessarily need to be able to hit with that medium laser.
Good to go.
And I really, really don't want to take like a full volley from anything here.
Firing.
Alright, we softened up that armor.
Damn, let's do this.
And something done there. I did not think he was going to be able to make that move. That's a hell of a run.
Standing by.
Okay, so now we want to definitely move back into the trees, right? Him running right up on me like that is actually kind of a problem, though. I don't really have a good strategy for dealing with that. Aside from just the Thunderbolt being really, really tough. I'm going to go here so that we can work on this turret. And if he follows up, then he'll have his back to some of my guys, and we'll probably be able to handle it from there. So once again, we're going to leave this thing just a little bit above dead. 68 that time. Which I think is, that's still absolutely Gauss rifleable. I wish Brass had multi-shot. I think we probably want to move to a position where I can just fire the Gauss rifle. But I don't want to be in a position where that guy can punch me easily. So right here, off the ground, should be okay. It's only one... We can jump for 2 evasion and just use range to keep him from punching me. This should work. We have an 85% chance of killing the turret. It is really nice to have a single weapon that does that much damage all at once, and is also like effective in this at this range. It's just what a wonderful toy a Gauss rifle is. So if we don't go after the dragon now, we're gonna miss our opportunity. Actually, can I jump into a position where I can shoot the... No, the guy who ran up on us has his cover is too good. Too good to punish. There is still a turret over here. That must be the other LRM turret, right? Well, unfortunately, I cannot access it no matter what, so I guess we're just moving in here. I could try to sensor lock it, but let's just try to break this dragon up. So it took a little bit of damage to the area we aimed at, and a lot more to its leg. I guess we could try to bust the leg. Honestly, with this mech, though, I'm much more confident we're going to actually make the breakthrough here. There we go. That helps a lot.
Reporting. Critical hit.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't have the autocannon available for that shot.
Ready to rock.
And then the Annihilator cannot get in range to see the turret. There's pretty good odds we could just finish the dragon off. And I see absolutely no reason to attack a building until we've resolved all this other stuff, right? We just give him everything with no aim? Yeah, it seems reasonable.
Enemy eliminated.
That did not quite put me up at the 50-point threshold. I guess it doesn't matter, because we're gonna get the beginning of turn pulse of resolve before anybody else moves. So, all right, is he going to throw another punch? No, he wants that cataphract. Can't say I think that's a very good idea. It also means that our Thunderbolt gets to punch him in the back if we want, probably. I guess I don't really care about that. If we had more compelling short-range weaponry, the fact that his back armor is open would definitely be more interesting. So we punch for 80, which is enough to... You know, we could actually kill him if the punch goes center and hits the SRM ammo. But maybe we should try to lead with somebody else. I guess actually my biggest concern is that turret. Let's move in on that turret and see... Uh-oh. Oh no, reinforcements. So yeah, let's get rid of this thing. How much do we need? That's right, we need everything. Oh, when the reinforcements came in, he gained 10% damage reduction. That's certainly telling. Yeah, alright. That's a little bit of a bummer. So... what do we want to do to you? I mean, I could just go to his center, right? An aim shot to the center is fairly likely to work, even if you don't have good targeting. I should probably move her first, but can't get cover. I can get a slightly higher position. But yeah, let's see if I can just finish this guy off this way. I don't think a single one of those went to the place I told them to go to.
Orders.
So I think I'd better move you in to guarantee that we get the kill we want on this turret.
On my way.
We'll just give it one of the missile pods.
Attacking from position.
Enemy structure damage, Commander.
Also, enemy structure damage, so that's cool.
Demolished. What are your orders?
I am very hopeful. Very hopeful on the subject of bonus objectives. Alright, let's see if we can put this guy away. Heat's becoming a little bit of an issue. So if we went through here, we could probably blow up his ammo supply. That seems like the smart move. Let's turn off the normal AC-5.
Let's see what you got.
Ah, no secondary ammo explosion. That's a shame.
Done.
Imagine if we had done just a tiny little bit of damage to his center torso with the cataphract.
Reporting.
Well, I think the cataphract probably is what tries to finish the job here, and it's unlikely that we need to do much aiming. I'm going to just maintain our resolve.
Copy that.
Kill confirmed, Commander.
Alright, so they no longer have vision of us, which is important as the rest of these enemies approach. Although we know not where, we know not whence.
You have orders?
I guess, hold on, just everybody reserve down. Let's let as many of them go as possible.
Right opportunity.
Okay, none of them move on 2. We know that at least one of them moves on 3, which is interesting.
What's the plan?
I might actually just take a turn while we're in no danger at all here to brace and chill.
I copy.
Several of us could use a chill out turn. Some of us more than one. And it looks like none of their stuff moved on 1 either, so I think
How might I help?
they're all smaller mechs. I'm gonna run around a little bit and see if we can get any sensor readings. Okay, now they have something that moves on 2. At least one that moves on
Ready
2.
for orders.
The Thunderbolt, I honestly should probably back up.
Understood. Moving fast.
Yeah, as long as there are enemies, I'd really prefer to just, like, wait.
Jump set. Engaged.
Rather than committing to the buildings and then having the enemies show up when we have some significant amount of heat.
All right, let's move.
Okay, there we go. There's some readings. We got something. So yeah, 332. Probably pretty doable. Also, I see no reason at all to move before this 2 does. Probably just another grasshopper, so let's blow him the hell up. Alright, apparently I'm gonna need to use a sensor lock for this. Can you really not get into the... Okay. Well, I guess we'll just move up to here and sensor lock whatever that guy is.
I've got a sensor lock.
Okay, they have a cataphract of their own.
Commander.
I'm here.
Start with uncrackable. Let's see if we can get... There's really no position. I guess that hillside is kind of a problem. So yeah, there's no position even up here where I'm going to be able to try to shoot his stupid head clean off of his body. Which is obviously the thing we would like. So I guess you move up to here? You're in pretty good shape. Pretty tough. And these enemies' soldiers are not likely to be all that powerful. I'm probably going to approach... We don't need the cover. There's no way he can shoot back, right? Cataphract is not super heavily armored. And we may as well spend some resolve. This might be the only attack we get to take here. So let's aim for his AC 10. Okay, and you know, a fair number of those projectiles landed where I wanted them to land. It's got to be something to be happy about. Do I want to come down here? I probably want to go up onto the hill. It's gonna be a minute before we have a good firing angle, is all. So they have a Wolverine, which is a very low yield mech. Nothing to be afraid of. Oh, that thing's a 75. Interesting that it's so fast. Well, the Orion is going to be pretty powerful here. So there's their Marauder. We should probably try to shear off the side, right? We could go for the leg. Honestly, yeah, its midsection is pretty heavily armored, but the legs would not be difficult to take down.
Commander.
Mechs that have relatively lightly armored legs, like, you know, every mech that I've ever built,
Confirmed.
certainly offer you a strategy. With these mechs, we're unlikely to actually be able to break the leg down. I think I'm just gonna do a non-aimed shot here. And I think this is more important than trying to get rid of the cataphract. Maybe not. No, let's shoot at the cataphract. I should maintain focus here. Alright, he's good and unsteadied, which in theory should allow my own cataphract to never mind. Can't hit him. Not quite there.
Moving out.
Well, do we want to try to get insanely lucky with the headshot? It would be pretty funny if the rifle landed. Actually, he's pretty weak in general. I think I'm just gonna try to core him out. Wolverine 6R. Hold on. Do we need that? Is that one of the... Let's see here. Mech scoring list. I'm pretty sure that's on the list, but I don't know. Okay, no. We have a Wolverine 6R already. We are not in any... not under any obligation to take this guy alive. Oh, that's a shame. A core there would have been really nice.
Solid connection, that one.
That is a shame.
Yup.
Okay, you are in a position to take an aimed shot. Let's just try to bust this dude down. So the Cataphract 1X is obviously not a design that we need, since we have one on the table right this second. Let us core him. He's not super tough. We definitely have the damage. We just need to not get super unlucky. We totally did get super unlucky. We had a hard miss and then a thing go to the wrong area, and that was actually really bad. What did we leave on him? 52 center health.
Reporting.
Well, Steamfitter's the best shot of the people who move on to, so probably the play is jump in and try to just knock the center out of that dude's mech. I am going to precision strike just because mostly because our hit percentage was so low, more than because I'm afraid we'll miss the center. Yeah. Yeah, I figured we kind of had that.
Target neutralized.
It's a cool paint job. I mean, the colors are ugly, but I like the pattern. Now, this Orion's maybe taking a little bit too much damage.
Peeling away.
Lost almost 400 armor. It might be time to start actually protecting it a little bit. Alright, the Wolverine is, I think, too low consequence for us to focus on it right now. Let's just work this Marauder open. Okay. Got a decent center hit there, and also some leg damage, which is a little bit more valuable, given what we intend to use as a strategy here. So I'd love to shoot it from the side arc if I can. This seems like the way to go. Again, just hoping to deal as much damage to that leg as possible. Man, this thing is difficult to knock over. I wonder, could I jump far enough over here? Okay, I can't quite get his back arc, but I can definitely put myself in a scary position for him. And then hopefully we get lucky and we get the leg on this side, because that other leg is going to be pretty easy to take down. Well, alright, I did some damage to the leg. You can't argue that that leg is undamaged. Obviously, we did some other stuff too. So I don't think we need to try particularly hard on that guy. We probably want to focus everybody else on the Wolverine. Although I guess we... Hold on, let's reserve down. Let's let the Annihilator lead here. See if we can get a kill without having to spend any resources. He didn't really move in a way that lets him protect his side. We are going to be able to fire right into the open side. So let's just do that. I knew it was overkill when I clicked it, but I'm always leery in a situation like that of turning anything off, because if you turn some stuff off and he lives, then you're going to feel like a real, complete idiot. I don't want to punch. I want to use my very impressive weapon suite. Let's just go straight to this dude's center. How about we can cut him in half? Yeah, it's only 190 damage. Okay, well, missing with the autocannon's a pretty bad start.
Yes, Commander.
Orders.
That's alright. I think that's likely to be recoverable. He's got 82 center torso health left. Alright, I'm going to take the precision strike here, and I'll be very embarrassed if this doesn't work.
Copy that.
Oh, it's a pretty bad start. I think both the lasers went center. Okay.
Destroyed.
We got all the bonus objectives, and possibly also a secret bonus objective, provided there is one. If there is one, we totally will have gotten it. And then, yeah, I don't know, just shoot at stuff. I guess I should back up. If my LRMs are not at optimal striking efficiency
Yes, Commander.
at this very close range. Can only back up so much, though.
Confirmed.
Enemy structure eliminated.
Alright, that is considerably better damage output.
Brought it down, Commander. Reporting.
And then the Orion, I don't know, just like pick one.
Firing.
It's like a tiny bit of overkill. We just need to kill any three?
Commander.
Easy enough. Do we have... Yeah, we want to go for a small.
Copy that.
Get land to the LZ, Commander. I'm coming in hot.
You know, something tells me I don't really need to run to the LZ. Things are probably under control. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Base is down, sorry to butt in, we just received a message from Colonel Lees. I hate to say it, but it looks authentic. What? But he should be dead, buried in a mountain of scrap. Yeah, it turns out, just like literally every single one of these, your intel was garbage. It is, narratively speaking, it is a well they go back to an awful lot. Damn it, nothing's ever as easy as it should be. Alright, Sumiri, keep the bastard on hold. When our people are all present and accounted for, we'll have words with him. Shugo Yamaguchi, I suggest you stay on the line as well. I will, but to listen only. I have nothing to say to that murderous swine.
Mission successful.
Again, if you want to deal with an enemy dehumanizing people, treating them as less than dignified beings, maybe don't yourself go immediately to referring to them as swine? Yep, hidden objective, destroy base turrets. That's a healthy payout for the amount of work we had to do there. Unfortunately, Chicken Hound took a missile to the face. These things happen. Well, we may as well finish the Grasshopper. We don't need any of this other stuff. Did any cool loot drop? This comm system's alright. It's a little bit worse than the ones we're using now in our mechs, but it's good to have backups. I suppose that's more valuable than the other pieces of loot that are on the docket here. We do not sell full completed mechs for all that much money, unfortunately. So, like, completing that Grasshopper was not going to get us several million C-bills or anything. Certainly nowhere near the cost that we would have to pay if we wanted to buy one. Oh, speaking of buying things, I guess we should probably have a look at the store around here. Well, we can do it after the flashpoint, you know, when we actually have some money. Lees is still holding, XO. I've got Shugo Yamaguchi on the line as well, but he's muted. You ready to talk to this guy? Yeah, put him on screen. Good day to you, mercenaries. If you were trying to kill me, you've failed. Of course, that's par for the course for the dragon and its servants. Drooling, syphilitic mongrels, the lot of you. And I am the man who will put you down. Wow, Shugo Yamaguchi was right. You are an asshole. Oh, sticks and stones, Commander. But we have more pressing matters to discuss. You have been sent here to hunt me, yes? Well, I've decided to give you a sporting chance. You will find me in the New Walland Marsh, at a set of coordinates that I will provide. Come for me, and we'll see what your company is made of. This is an enormous, desolate stretch of marshland. These islands are technically arable, but the marsh remains largely unsettled. Okay. Yeah, sure. We'll go to your coordinates and walk right into whatever half-assed trap you've set for us. Great plan. I'm afraid that it's the only option left to you. As we speak, I have half a dozen anti-ship missiles trained on the bloated monstrosity that you call the Argo. If you attempt to dock with her, I'll blow her out of the sky. Well, shit. That isn't good. I'll leave you to contemplate your predicament, Commander. Tell that drunken fool Yamaguchi that I'll be waiting. Okay, well, I mean, he heard that, so... Now, this is real bad, boss. If we can't get back up to the Argo, we can't repair or rearm our mechs. I pulled all my heavy refitting tools off the Leopard ages ago. Yeah, this is not a big deal. Put Sugar Yamaguchi up on the screen. We'll have a little chat about this thing. Well, we appear to be faced with a predicament. House Kurita still wants Lee's dead. He is the butcher of Shalkala, and he deserves nothing less. But I won't ask you to walk into an ambush. Your company is too valuable to me for that. Well, what other options do we have? Lee's has a target lock on the Argo. We can't just pack up and leave. It's possible that you could. If you go north through the desert, I can lead you to Lindsay's only military sensor array. If you get Dr. Murad inside, she should be able to break Lee's target lock, and you'll be able to make good on your escape. And what if we just accept his challenge? Well, then I'm afraid you'll be subjecting yourself to great danger. It's a given that he'll have superior firepower waiting in ambush, but I have no operational intelligence on what armaments he could bring to bear. I can't even guarantee he'll be at the coordinates he's given you. Should you succeed in killing the man, I'll reward you handsomely, of course, but victory may be near impossible to achieve. At the end of the day, the choice is yours, Commander. It isn't my place to influence your decision, although I've done everything in my power to do that. Will you stay and fight, or will you attempt to withdraw? Oh, we're on the hunt. Should be impossible means absolutely nothing to Large John Corpsington. We're here to take out the Butcher of Shalkala, right? Now that I've met the man, I'm even more determined to do that. Well, I salute your dedication, Commander. House Kurita will remember your decision today. When you drop at the marshland, be prepared for anything. Lees is a cunning and dangerous man. He's not that cunning. This trap is not cleverly set. So, I suppose this is the kind of time when we usually do the thing again. So let us do that. Let us do the thing. I still need to fix the problem where it keeps resetting. It turns out to be a little trickier than I thought it might be. If we roll training day again, we'll just do another spin. Well, it turns out this is a good time to spread the love. So, that means that we have to try to target as many enemies as possible with each shot. This is something of a tough one, but it does have a full +1 difficulty modifier, meaning we get to bring the big guns. And a jungle scenario is exactly the kind of time when you want to bring the crab. So let's see here. Let's put Cruz in on the crab. We're going to go pretty hard on this. We're told it's a trap. It could be dangerous. We should not joke around. So what else do we want to bring? Is it... The Marauder is significantly less powerful than it used to be. Let's put in the Stalker and, like... Maybe I do want to run that Orion, actually. Yeah, let's actually keep the Orion. We'll run it like this. And then, so... Steamfitter makes the most sense in the Orion still. And we do want to keep leveling him up, because he does need it. The Stalker should be run by Trampoline, probably. I think that's what we've been doing traditionally. This is actually going to be, depending on what they run, still fairly dangerous in terms of the... Oh, wait, sorry. Part of this thing is we have to bring as many multi-target pilots as we can, so... Tire Fire is driving the Orion. We could... Oh, no, never mind. Our lower-skilled multi-target pilot is in the hospital. Okay. This is the crew. If this is the crew, are we in the right positions? Yes, probably. Breaching Shot is still useful on the Orion's AC-10. Yeah, this makes sense. So depending on what they bring, this could still be difficult, because obviously being able to aim is a huge benefit. But we can try to make use of the enemies, of the firing arcs. You know, just try to make sure we're facing the correct part of the enemy to substitute for being able to aim. You can at least, you know, reliably hit arms and legs that way. And there's some chance that we're going to have no problems here at all, because we're just going to be able to overwhelm the lack of aim with big raw numbers, just huge numbers. I did not note the length on the flashpoint. There's an indicator on that first screen where you accept the flashpoint of how many missions it is. This might actually be the end of it.
Command interface.
If it is, and everything goes well and we succeed here, this would be a good replenishment of my personal morale. Commander Corpsington, you've accepted my challenge then? Good. It would have been terribly anticlimactic if you'd fled. My mercenaries will punish you for the butchery you committed on Shaokala, Lees. You will die in disgrace. Yo, this is a private channel, Shugo. Like, we maybe... Ah, Shugo Yamaguchi, the drunk. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you here in the flesh. Tearing your lance apart will be so much more satisfying, now that I know you're here to watch. All units converge on our guests and destroy them. Show them no mercy. Okay, so we're potentially going to be facing an awful lot of enemies. At least somebody's having fun. Well, I suppose we ought to advance on them. Now, this would be the kind of thing where we should try to learn lessons from our failure last time,
10-4.
and maybe scout a little bit more effectively, which is largely going to be down to the Orion. It's the only, like, fast mech we have here. So what we might want to do... Let's have at the very least, the Orion. Maybe more than one mech, but this one at least. Let's have this move out to the side a little bit. I'm curious if we're going to get any nonsense pushing in on us from the edge here. The Stalker can stay in the trees. And obviously, the crab has no move except run toward the enemy as fast as possible. Okay, so they have multiple mechs on 3. The 4P is for party, remember? That is the party version of the Hunchback. Not a terribly tough mech, but boy oh boy does it have a lot of guns. Also, something with a PPC way over there in the distance.
I hear ya.
Alright, I do want to keep moving the Orion this way. Oh, I was thinking that this was a forest. This is a spore field. I don't want to stand in the spore field. It does make you harder to hit, and the AI will sometimes stand in them for that reason. I'm not accepting the bonus damage. So, there is only one enemy to aim at right now, which means that we get to take full advantage of our ability to do precision strikes. We may as well go heavy on this stuff now, because we're not going to be able to do it once there's more than one thing to shoot at.
All weapons are go!
Okay, he's pretty close to dead.
What can I do for you?
And the enemies are not doing a good job of challenging us here.
This should be good.
Only 30 center torso health. There's a good chance we get a kill here. Yeah. Pretty excellent. I'm just realizing
Gotcha.
I hid my unlocks document to pull the wheel document up. I'm just realizing I don't know if we need that Hunchback or not. We definitely have the other Hunchback. Let me tab over here. Yes, actually, we do need the Hunchback 4P. That is a design that we have not yet finished.
I hear ya.
Alright, well, sadly, neither one of you has target lock. Ah, but the crab is just fast enough to show us something here. So a catapult C4 and a cataphract. I would like that catapult to die. Alright, you're all seeing it here. There is no version of this where I can target more than one enemy. So we are not breaking the rules by just shooting this guy. It's a shame we don't have any resolve left.
Accuracy through volume of fire. Come on, mech warriors.
Okay, it looked like we got a couple of decent shots to his left torso armor there. Let me see, did we come close to punching through? Because the Stalker might be able to get into his left arc. Yes, actually, we are pretty close to punching through.
Commander.
Can we? Yes, indeed. And nobody else is going to be able to fire on me here. This should be safe.
Affirmative.
Also, the Stalker is a long-range mech, but keep in mind, we're still, like, 1,000 armor. Alright, so I can only fire at 2 enemies. Obviously, we will channel the LRM-10 in the direction of this second guy. Here's hoping for some good blow-through. Alright, we wasted an awful lot of ammo actually hitting his arm instead of it going to the torso, which is a real shame. Yep, see, he jumped in the spore cloud to try to be harder to hit, but now when we do hit him, we're going to absolutely break him in half. I guess with the crab, that was true either way, probably.
What can I do for you?
Alright, you actually might want to reserve down. I guess if I give this thing a turn, it's more likely to make me split my shot. I don't really want to be shooting just into the front arc. Yeah, it's fine.
Got it.
Okay, well that's a little unfortunate. I was really hoping we were going to be able to put the AC-10 and 2 of the SRMs into this guy.
You get a headshot, and you get a headshot.
We didn't even push him. Oh no, we did push him
Another
down
hit
steady.
like that, and you're toast. Hey, we're getting outflanked.
Okay, there's the trap. Unfortunately, in my back armor. That's very much not where I want it to be. Alright, we gotta get the Orion into some actual cover here. Apparently it is going to get sandwiched very badly.
Yup.
Alright, let's move the crab in and try to resolve some of these issues as quickly as possible. So, Cruz, you over there, you're probably getting the LB-20X. You are getting everything else. Actually, hold on a second. How much health do you have? 94 in the center? Yeah, I'm still going to do it that way. We might overkill the catapult a little bit here. Do I want to... Yeah, I'm going to do it this way.
Line them up, and I'll shoot them down, Commander.
Alright, no big surprise. Problem was resolved by the UAC. Wow, that was a lot of stability damage. That was way better than I was expecting. This guy does not have sure footing. I guess I just kind of assumed that he would. And we are now, again, in one of those rare situations where I actually get to aim. We just go for the face? I mean, this is 230 damage. We could totally do 230 damage. Well, I guess I didn't take into account the damage reduction from him being in cover. Still, he's at 28 health and on the ground, so we're fairly likely to be able to pull this off.
Let's go.
We've got to get the Orion into cover,
I
though.
hear ya.
Alright, Orion, you need to make it over to here, and you do in fact get to shoot at just this guy, so let's hope that we can...
On my way.
Hope that we can get this kill. Not just because, obviously, it's good to get kills, but because I really do want to... I want to cost them their vision. They need to not be able to see me. Oh, apparently they still can. They must have an improved rangefinder on somebody.
What can I do for you?
Well, that's a shame, because I do not have that. So I think we're just going to reserve down...
Holding action, Commander.
Yeah. I really didn't think that I was going to be taking any more damage here. And the bonus for being in cover, not effective from the back. Alright, well hopefully we can kill this guy this turn.
Okay, that was bad.
That'll make things a little bit easier. It's a rifleman.
Waiting on you, Commander.
That is also not a mech design that we actually need.
What are your orders, Skipper?
And we have once more a situation where I'm allowed to aim, so we're going to do that. We're going to take advantage of that. What are we looking at in terms of center health here? Okay,
What can I do for
I think I'm just going to turn the Annihilator on him. Right, we should be able to fire everything this turn.
Affirmative, Commander. Fun time.
Okay. This way, we can turn the crab
Go to the
around
trash, Skipper.
and have it be the first mech that the enemy group sees. Oh, actually, we exited combat. That's a little inconvenient for me, actually. I guess let's move you to
On my
here.
way.
Just turn you around in place. Maybe turn you around in place. And also...
Uh-huh.
A lot of what we're doing here is just trying to let some of our heat burn off before we reestablish contact. Are we
Waiting for
all cooled?
orders. Waiting on you, Commander.
Nope, I'm just going to brace everybody.
Good for now. Cooling down a bit.
Okay, there we go. I was going to say, how far away could they possibly be if they were able to shoot at us? But I guess they were shooting with LRMs. Things have a pretty long range. That's why they're called LRMs. So yeah, one of these mechs has an enhanced viewfinder. Okay.
I hear ya.
Well, the Orion is not in such bad shape from this side. So maybe we want to... Oof, yeah, I guess this is the best I can do? Oh, man. Alright. According to the rules of the thing, I would have to make this my move if I moved right now, so we're going to choose to reserve for the moment. Okay, there's the fourth one. We can definitely let people shoot at the crab for a little while, right? We're not in a tremendous amount of danger here. Oh my gosh, I left the... I'm sorry, everybody. I had covered that part of my screen up, the preview window, with the notepad for... Well, hopefully, you know, there's a good theater of the mind type effect that you probably had going there, and that's... I'm very embarrassed. Alright, we're going to jump the Orion over here, and we're going to use Vigilance to not leave it out there for the entire next round. This way we're providing some good targeting information for our friends. The Hatchet Man, Rifle, Dragon... It's... Okay, how do we want to do this? I guess we shoot at everybody but the Hatchet Man? We focus on the... Ooh, we focus on the Grasshopper? The Grasshopper's definitely more dangerous than the Dragon. The Dragon's armaments are pretty bad. And it's not that much tougher. Rifleman's also pretty important, but I can only hit it with one of the weapons, so obviously we know what we're doing there. Let's care about the Grasshopper a little bit more than the Dragon, I think.
Right, Commander.
So the Rifleman is set up symmetrically, right? It doesn't really matter which side we work on. It's very good for us that the AC-10 hit the torso armor instead of the arm. You have to do a pretty similar thing.
Moving to position.
And I think, given the option here, we are going to focus on the Rifleman the most of all of them. So the Rifleman gets both the LRM-20s. The Grasshopper gets the 15.
Line them up and I'll shoot them down, Commander.
This is definitely a harder way to win a battle. Alright, please show me a blow-through here. Okay, well, we did knock one of the arms off. That's something.
Another hit like that and you're toast.
I really wish we had gotten him all the way to unsteady, though. The Annihilator must attempt to annihilate as many foes as possible. I don't really want to fire at the Hatchet Man. Is there a spot where I can get a shot on the other three? Nope. Alright, well, the Hatchet Man's getting the AC-5.
Acknowledged, Commander.
We do get to fire into the Rifleman's side arc this way, which I like a lot. So we're going to focus on you. Because we're pretty unlikely to hit the Hatchet Man, we're going to give him nothing. And then we probably... I want to put a fair amount of damage through on the Grasshopper. You know what? I'm going to give it the UAC. It's the highest damage of the remaining weapons.
Engaging multiple.
I think we're pretty close to getting rid of the... Yeah. Getting rid of all the meaningful weaponry on the Rifleman, so I wanted to start in doing some real damage here. Oh, hey. Lucky. Wow, that was lucky. Not only did we hit the part that is probably most relevant. Because we're unlikely to try to, like... We're unlikely to pull that guy apart piece by piece. This is probably going to turn into just coring him.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
Okay. You can only take large lasers, and it would take a lot to kill you yet. But we really, I think, want to focus mostly on the Grasshopper. Okay. So we're going to go A, B, C. Obviously, we don't have a lot of choices here.
Got it.
I think we ended up hitting... Yeah, we ended up hitting the Grasshopper with both of those. That's a pretty okay start.
And there's more where that came from.
Man, the crab is powerful. Like, ridiculously... Very powerful in a very silly way. We might... Hold off. I'm going to reserve the Orion here. Because I want to absorb some more shots before we give up our bonus.
Minor damage, Commander.
That was a very dramatic scene for it moving 3 feet to its left.
I hear ya.
So I do want to have you move first, because we definitely want to try to knock some of these mechs over if we can.
Coordinates received.
And we're going to ignore the rifleman for right now. Hatchet Man gets the smallest payload, because probably most of the missiles are going to miss anyway. Actually, it's not even really that bad. Here, let's do it like this. I would love to knock over that grasshopper if we can. Alright, pretty good. So there's some chance that we're going to be able to kill the grasshopper. Well, I was going to say that we're going to be able to kill the grasshopper right now with the free aim shots, but right, we're not going to be able to take advantage of those. We have so many people to shoot at. What does it have? It still has a lot of health left in most of its parts. We could get lucky and do a lot of leg damage. And I guess I have to go right now if I want to hit it while it's still down. Can I jump back up here, maybe? Yeah, I think this is what I want. A little bit of evasiveness.
Engaging jump jet.
Okay, so the rifleman is a non-issue. The dragon's side is a little bit open, but also there's not a lot of value in there. I think we do want to focus on the downed enemy as much as possible here. And I can probably ignore the grasshopper pretty safely. So let's give... yeah, let's give just one SRM launcher each to those guys.
Roger that.
Okay, that's good leg damage. We're doing a good job of stripping the evasion off of people, which is one thing that this multi-target heavy strategy is really good at.
Is that it? I'm barely scratched.
I'd be careful trash talk. The battle's not actually over yet. Like, it looks like we're going to be fine, but the trash talk makes me nervous. Alright, we probably want to run the Annihilator up in front because I want to present it as a viable target. I want everybody to try to shoot at this thing instead of anything else. And the Grasshopper has actually made itself pretty awkward to shoot. Maybe we're going to take it easy on him for the moment. So we can probably get rid of these guys, right? Let's actually focus a bunch on the Hatchet Man before it gets close enough to use its hatchet. And then I think I want to just put the AC-5 into you. Yeah, this is fine, actually.
I'm on him.
Did I just stray shot the other dying mech there? I think I did.
Waiting for orders.
Alright, Crab must advance. I'm assuming... I was going to say I'm assuming the UAC is not going to be very accurate against any of these enemies, but apparently that's not the case. Alright, we'll use the UAC to try to clean up the dragon. I should probably cool and fent. So yeah, UAC cleans up the dragon. We give... what do we have on this guy? 75s? I'm gonna do it like this. So the LB-20X will knock over the rifleman, like pretty much guaranteed.
No problem. I've got enough.
Wow,
room
we
for
actually
everyone.
failed to get the kill there. That was remarkably bad shooting. Given the power contained in that mech, I'm really surprised we couldn't get at least one kill there. I had high hopes on that dragon. I'd really like
Waiting on
to
you, Commander.
dump some damage into this grasshopper before it has a chance to move again and regain its mobility. Do I want to fire... I think I want to just fire into his front arc. Can I get the side? I can. Yeah, you know what? We are probably better off actually focusing a little bit.
Moving out.
So we'll give him the 20s. Put the 15 on the dragon in the hopes of getting a knockdown. This is a little bit more stability damage than the 10. Even though they do the same normal damage. Okay, well, we certainly did focus that fire. That guy has no weaponry left. That's a shame. Did not find our knockdown. It's hard, though, to imagine these guys putting enough damage together, even between the three of them, to be a threat to any one of our mechs. So the Orion can step down into the water. That's exactly what I was hoping for. And let's try to kill this guy. So we want to give the Grasshopper the AC-10 and one of the rocket pods, and then it doesn't really matter how we divide these.
Affirmative.
Ah, that's a bad miss. Also, how are you firing that weapon such that you hit his leg and his head, but nothing else? How did that even happen?
That's a critical hit.
This thing's other leg is looking real rough, right? That might be the way he ends up going down. I guess it kind of depends on what he does here, as to whether or not we're going to have access to his right firing arc.
I'm taking a pounding, Commander.
He is going to run into the spore field, thus virtually guaranteeing his demise.
You got it.
Well, I appreciate his commitment to a glorious death, at least. Okay, we don't have to turn off very much. Let's just give the dragon a random AC-10.
Here we go.
There we go. Just wanted to make sure we were very focused on the task at hand. That's, okay, somewhat less focused. Now, though, we get to do other stuff, like punch this guy. I think I'm punching this guy. It's always fun to get to throw a punch as the crab. So we can punch into this side, but not the other side. I think that's probably the right way to do this.
Tell me twice. This is gonna be good.
Boy, the kick animation. Just like, look at the way this thing is constructed. Why would you kick with it instead of punching with one of the big crunchy arms? Or instead of punching, even just like reach out there and grab the guy and just start pulling.
Waiting for orders.
That would seem to be the way to do it.
Right, Commander. All weapons.
Alright, let's get the hell out of this fight.
That's a kill.
Your hirelings performed well, Shuga Yamaguchi. Now come for me. Let's put your mercenaries to the test. Dude wasn't even actually here. What a coward. Alright, well listen. I promise you, this is not a word I use lightly, but I swear to you, you will be able to see the entirety of the next mission. That is a thing that is going to happen. So, it's going super well here. To be fair, I think we've gotten a little bit lucky in that we've really benefited from the high difficulty modifiers here. So we do want the piece of the party mech, and then we don't need any of these other designs, right? The Hatchet Man 3F is on the list, but we have one completed already, and we've completed all the rest of these. So, is there anything else here that's like terribly compelling? That's, as far as the things with 3 pluses on them go, that's not amazing. I guess there's nothing else of value. Well, let's finish that Grasshopper then. This is the thing of greatest value of our remaining options. Cataphract piece, okay. Not bad. Not a bad turnout in total. It claims the value of that salvage was 5 million C-bills. I think we would find that we are able to get significantly less than that if we were to try to sell it all off. This is just the way of things, I guess. The rich get richer, and the poor have a really hard time getting rich. Although, realistically, I guess it's pretty hard to call us poor. You know, I do own my own spaceship and everything. You're remarkably tenacious, Corpsington, like a tick or a cockroach. I wonder how long that tenacity will hold. Will you continue fighting? Or will you quit the field with your tail between your legs? Joke's on you, I had my tail removed. You just love hearing yourself talk, don't you? He really does. Think he'll still be chattering like this when we smash him flat? You have my coordinates. Come for me. Find out for yourselves. Weren't the coordinates you gave us the ones we just went to? Alright, whatever. Well, what are we going to do, Large John? I'm not sure that our lance can handle another run at whatever Meat Grinder Lee sets up for us. Really? Are you sure you don't think that? Because I think we can definitely handle it. I think we've taken no actual damage at all. Well, one more trip into hell it is. I'll head down to the barracks and rally the troops. I think the troops will be just fine. So I guess let's go ahead and spin for the next mission here. So it's another 3.5 skull. This right here, this will be how we guarantee that the wheel doesn't cover up any of the next mission, because it will never even appear in the next video. Alright, show me something new, Blood Wheel. What challenge will we take on tomorrow? Tomorrow, we're all about sneak attacks, and then he hid the Blood Wheel. So just to remind y'all, the sneak attack modifier, each enemy must be shot in his rear arc at least once. And this only has a 0.5 difficulty modifier, so we need to bring a 4-symbol lance. Obviously favoring some fast-moving mechs. The Orion is not a bad call here. We probably want to bring either the Warhammer or the Dragonfly, or maybe even both. I think this is more of a Warhammer type thing. The enemy lance is going to be a little bit lighter, which I think plays well with the Warhammer's damage output and the Warhammer's armor level. Let's do this, and then... I mean, we would kind of like to bring Returned on this mission, but maybe what I could do instead is... Well, we have to drop the crab probably anyway, right? So Cruz could end up piloting the Warhammer, and then we have to find ourselves a little bit more weight. Like, if we drop the Stalker for the Thunderbolt, which fills a similar role, we end up at 3 symbols. Oh, sorry, I have to put something in this slot. So let's say we want... And there's no way this is... Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way that's only 4 symbols. So we have to go a little bit lighter for whatever else it is we're bringing. The Quick Draw does a lot of damage, but runs pretty hot. Maybe a good fit for this situation. I mean, it runs very hot. So I guess we're maybe still finding ourselves in a position where we wish Returned was on the table here. The Quick Draw is also very low armor. If we bring a 70 in this slot, does that take us... Yeah, it takes us up to 4.5. So it has to be a 60 or lighter. Honestly, I might be more comfortable running, like... Wolverine's a little bit of a goofy build. This guy's just all lasers and missiles, but his heat efficiency's a little better, and he's a little more heavily armored. And he's quite fast. You know what? He might actually be perfect. So this is a good 4-skull lance. It gives us a lot of options for getting behind enemies to trigger the sneak attack. Yeah, okay. I don't know that this is the right pilot for this situation. There's usually a lot of trees available in the jungle. We might want to run Sourdough in one of these. I mean, Steamfitter's a good fit too. And we do want to get him more experience. I think we could do it this way. So the Hardlight, the Cruise in the Hardlight makes a lot of sense for me. Trampoline in the Thunderbolt so we could split the LRM launchers if it makes sense to do so. Uncrackable in the Annihilator for the breaching shot on the big autocannons. Yeah, I like this quite a bit. So we're going to go ahead and deploy here so that I can create our save game in the mission. And then I guess with that we can just call the video here. Y'all don't need to watch me do that thing. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and once again, I'm sorry. Come back next time tomorrow when everything runs so much more smoothly. You're going to be shocked at how smooth it is. And we'll see you then.